So after the splashdown and coming back into the boat in your capsule, what was the first experience when they opened the door?
I think you're trying to be stable, not move your head too much. You're trying not to get sick because it's a little bit provocative coming back and the re-entry and the whole experience, all the G's, all the G forces that you experience on your body after being weightless for so long, and then the splashdown itself, bobbing, in the waves. So you're trying to stay still, to be stable, and then those guys come in, they're very, very professional, very meticulous, very methodical. They come in, they extract us one by one. What actually struck me first, so you see faces, first of all, new faces. You haven't seen, you've seen the same 5 or 6 faces or a little bit more for 6 months, and then suddenly you have new people, new voices. It's a little bit overwhelming. And then I think it's also the smell, like just the smell of soap, the smell of shampoo or detergent was kind of surprising to me, because in a confined environment of the space station, you lose a sense of smell. The smell is always the same. So those are the 2 first things, and then the fresh air when you get out of the capsule. And then it all goes really, really fast until I got here.
Okay, you've now traveled to space in a Soyuz and in a Crew Dragon. How is it different to land in the steppes of Kazakhstan or in the water off the coast of Florida?
I think the general principle is the same, right? You have to brake, you use your main engine to brake, and then you're braking by the friction in the upper layers of the atmosphere, which makes your capsule heat up, and that's why you have the heat shield. So same kind of experience initially, braking burn a little bit longer, 16 minutes. Of your thrusters firing to dip your trajectory into the upper atmosphere. And then the braking gets more intense as you go, and the G forces build up. So we went all the way up to 454, I think, Gs for over a period of 7-8 minutes. Not sustained 454, but kind of in that area. Which is provocative when you haven't experienced the weight of anything on your body, and suddenly you're squashed in your seat. You have a hard time breathing, lifting your chest, and then when the parachutes open, it's also kind of a big jolt on the capsule, and the capsule is swung around quite a lot. First, the drogue, the risers, the drogue chutes that slow you down to 50-ish meters per second. And then the main chutes to 8 meters per second, you kind of still swing a little bit. The water landing itself is smooth, much smoother than what I remember from Kazakhstan, because on the ground, Soyuz has retro rockets at the last minute, but very often you kind of bounce. And if you have any side velocity because of the wind pushing the parachute, very often you tumble. So you bounce, you tumble, it's like a car crash. And here on the sea, there was no waves, completely flat sea, so we just softly ditched, and then we were bobbing nicely in the sea. So it was actually very smooth. I enjoyed the experience very much.
Excellent. When you, from space, you posted a lot of pictures from our planet Earth, and highlighted in your own way the climate change. Is there anything you would like to say about that?
I think it's a different experience. The first time you look at the beauty of the Earth, and then you start looking at more of the fragility and more of the negative effects of the human presence. But the second time, you kind of know what to expect and know what to look at. I think the biggest difference this time, you still see the pollution in some areas, air pollution, sea pollution, things like that, or water pollution, things like that. But what we really did see much more this time is the extreme weather events, tropical storms, lining up in the Southern Ocean, as one was making landfall, the other one was already forming in the Atlantic Ocean, which is kind of a scary thought, a scary sight. Wildfires over the course of the entire summers, entire regions were covered in smoke and ashes, which was very, very impressive to see from the space station. So those events we know are linked to climate change, and we witnessed a lot more. It was in summer this time, winter last time, but still we witnessed a lot more of those events this time. And I think the frequency and the amplitude is increasing, so that's definitely worrying, and hopefully we can do something against it in the near future rather sooner than later.